This is the Rangers POSTCAST, your instant game reaction for the Texas Rangers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Well, it's that old line. There are two things you can count on: death, taxes, and for the Rangers not to be able to score the day after, the game after they have a big offensive outburst. Unbelievable. Some of you called it out on the show last night, and we saw it once again last night. Season high 16 runs on 17 hits. One of the best offensive output of the season. And tonight the Rangers come back and they revert and end up scoring just 2 runs on 7 hits, and they fall to the Twins by the final of 6-2. All right, here we go. Welcome into the Rangers POSTCAST, your team every day, and in our case, your team every single game. My name is Jeff Biggs, a longtime host and reporter. Thank you for watching Locked On Sports Rangers, your destination after every single game. You can also follow us and find us on the Locked On Rangers podcast feed. That's where you'll find the great work of Bryce Paterick every single day. Bryce will have a lot to say about this one coming up tomorrow. I thought he did a great breakdown, as always, talking about what we saw in the big win last night. But tonight, not so much. A different story.
This is what you'll be talking about.
Well, I'll tell you what, I got a little bit excited. I was really excited to see Jack Leiter on the mound, really excited to see the Rangers get the scoring started first. That was good to see. Marcus Semien, nice leadoff home run to left to give the Rangers the 1-0 lead. That was good. And then in the top of the third, Jonah Heim with that 1-out ground rule double. Josh Smith followed, had the RBI double, and that made it 2-0 Texas early on. And you're thinking, okay, here they go. They're going to kind of keep it going, keep the momentum running from last night. But in that third inning, second time through the order for Jack Leiter. And unfortunately, the Twins came right back in that bottom of the third. Lee, a leadoff double, Vasquez, a walk, and then Byron Buxton hit that absolute bomb to center field. 479 feet, the second longest home run in the MLB this season. I mean, he crushed it. I mean, he may not ever hit a ball that hard again. I mean, that's how hard he hit it. I mean, he wore Leiter out tonight. I mean, he no matter what Jack could do, he could not beat him. That was a big league mental beatdown, mental win tonight for Buxton and Leiter. I don't think they're going to play again until September, but I'm looking forward to seeing in the future Jack Leiter and Byron Buxton for sure. So 3-2 Texas, 3-2 Twins at that point. Top of the fourth, the umpires missed the balk call on Festa. Festa for the rest of us, right? No Fiesta there, though, because Carter was picked off after they missed that. Who knows? That was the second out. Who knows if that would have made a difference or not, but it happened. Bottom of the fifth, Jack Leiter gives up the leadoff double to Byron Buxton, who, like I said, wore him out. And then Latz comes in. And again, props to Latz. He was the hero on Sunday. Did that great job with the 3+ innings in the bullpen game. But it really is a bugaboo, really is a thing for him. Just night and day difference when he comes in with a clean inning versus coming in with a runner or runners on base. And it's just a thing. And I mean, you could see it. I'm sure part of it might have been fatigue, but you could see it in his body language that, I mean, he just, he was scuffling there. And again, he got the tough thing for him is he came on with Buxton at second base, got a couple of outs, and then that's when the whole thing blew up. The Twins erupted, 3 big runs, Castro, 2-run triple. I thought maybe Evan Carter could have flagged that down. That's kind of a big league play in center field. Didn't work out that way. And then Correa, the RBI ground rule double, 6-2 Twins, and that was the ball game. All right, not much more to say about that. But hey, the Rangers still have a chance to come back and win the series tomorrow before heading back home, and we'll see what they can do with Patrick Corbin on the mound in the finale. Earlier start will be with you tomorrow. But quick timeout. When we come back, we're going to be joined by Bob Nightingale, senior USA Today baseball writer, one of the best, if not the best, in the business. Happy to have him on with us. He is standing by and ready to go. So get your questions ready. We've been looking forward to this, and we will talk to Bob Nightingale of USA Today coming up next. This is the Rangers Postcast. All right, looking forward to having Bob coming up here in just a minute. But if you ever check your bank account and you wonder, okay, where did all my money go between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment? It's really easy to lose track, right? That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Now, Monarch Money is not just a budgeting app, it's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, your investments, and spending all in one place. So you stop just managing your money and you start building wealth. And the cool thing is, instead of juggling multiple apps, right, you can use Monarch to check your finances, track your spending, and even plan some long-term goals. So take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONMLB at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONMLB for half off your first year. And if you want to get the supplies you need from the site that is made for the skilled trades, it's Supply House. I mean, that's it. Whether you're in plumbing, HVAC, or electrical work, Supply House is the reliable way to order products online. Their easy-to-use website is packed with helpful resources and the latest product info to help you get the job done right. Plus, with a complete inventory of over 200,000 parts from 400 plus top brands, you will find exactly what you need delivered fast from coast to coast. So if you need help with an order, Supply House offers expert support and industry-leading service, and you will always talk to a real person. So join the Trade Master program today at supplyhouse.com/TM and start ordering plumbing, HVAC, and electrical supplies with just a few clicks. Plus, you can use promo code SH5 for 5% off your first order. That's supplyhouse.com. All right, welcome back to the Rangers Postcast. The Rangers fall today to the Twins by the final of 6-2 in Game 2 of the series. But right now, it is a pleasure to welcome to the program the senior baseball writer at USA Today, somebody I've had the pleasure of knowing for a long time, was a huge help and a blessing to me when I was a young punk getting started, and I can never, ever say thanks enough, but glad that he is willing to spend some time with us tonight. Bob Nightingale joins us now live. Bob, how are you, buddy? You're looking good.
Yeah, doing great. Good to see you, Jeff.
Yeah, it has been way too long, but I appreciate you making some time in the midst of your schedule this week. Hope you're doing well. Want to just kind of start with your thoughts just before we dive into anything, specifically on the Rangers. I mean, as you know, kind of the the mindset coming into the season was this was going to be a team that was going to mash and score runs. The only question was what pitching? Would they have enough pitching? Could they have any pitching to hold up? And as you know, except for the last few games before tonight, it's been just the opposite. They've had pitching and no runs.
Yeah. I was at the run the Seattle Mariners today. As I said, Texas Rangers took your identity because Seattle Mariners were always pitching great and couldn't hit. Now the Rangers are doing the same thing, but they're only 5 games out. Still have that great pitching. You win with pitching, so even though they haven't got it going, they're playing better. They still have the talent to get the offense going. It's still a dangerous team. I mean, just like the Mariners a year ago. If the Rangers get in the playoffs, look out. They're as good as anybody because that's what wins in the postseason is pitching. And the Rangers are, I think, 3rd in all of baseball in ERA.
Yeah, and with that said, Bob, I mean, as you know, this is we're getting mid-June, getting closer to July. So this is the time where you see the buyers and sellers, right? The stories and links.
Sure.
But would you agree? I mean, if you're Chris Young and the Rangers front office, when you have the starting pitching that they've had so far this season, I mean, you can't waste that, right? I mean, you got to go all in.
Yeah, and I think Chris will. I think they're going to be very aggressive. Seattle wasn't aggressive, and it cost them. They wasted that pitching staff, and now you see they're having the injuries and everything else. But you're right, Jeff. You can't let this kind of pitching go to waste. Some guys just haven't, panned out. I mean, Jock Peterson's a shell of himself, is what he was with the Arizona Diamondbacks, and I saw him a lot. In the past teams, whether it's Atlanta, Giants, Padres. So at some point you got to think he clicks it in. And other guys too. Semien is starting to heat up a little bit now, and of course Seager. Once he gets fully healthy in the lineup and stays in the lineup, you figure his numbers got to jump up.
Yeah, no doubt. You mentioned Jock. I wasn't going to get into that, but just a quick follow-up because you've covered him for a long time. He, as some guys, everybody goes through slumps, right? But I mean, he and a lot of the Rangers just came into the season and they never got out of a slump. I mean, they never got going to begin with, right? And I was wondering, maybe, with the broken hand, maybe just taking a step back and watching the game like he has. I know he's a veteran, but maybe kind of coming back without some of that pressure. Do you think we'll see him get it going in the second half?
I would think so. I mean, he was so good against a, when the pinch hit, and he was just a platoon player for the Diamondbacks, and he was so good. I mean, just mashed the ball. That's what you wanted. I mean, just torch guys. With that left-handed bat. I mean, very. He was one of the best power hitters for those limited amount of at-bats. So yeah. I got to think, he's going to get it going. You just can't lose it overnight. I just think he's too much. Just have a professional hitter.
All right. Bob, I told everybody, we've been previewing this for a few days. I told everybody to get their questions ready. So I'm gonna ask you one more. You recently wrote a story about Rangers manager Bruce Bochy and his future. It's 70 years old, final year of his contract. Do you get the sense Boch is still thinking about it? And is Skip Schumacher really the front runner to be the heir apparent?
Yeah, I think he's strongly thinking about it, and we'll see what happens. I think they'll kind of decide, what happens the rest of the season. If they don't make the playoffs, I think he would definitely say, okay, that's it. Skip Schumacher went there for a reason. There's no heir apparent. He's a perfect heir apparent. Did a marvelous job with the Miami Marlins. Everybody knows this guy is a fantastic manager. He'll really be a perfect fit. I don't think he goes on with the Rangers unless he's, I'm not saying promised, but pretty much told like, hey, you're the heir apparent. When Bochy steps down, you're a guy.
All right. USA Today's senior baseball writer Bob Nightingale with us here on the Rangers Postcast. All right, I'm going to get to some throw some questions out to you, Bob, if you don't mind, before we let you go. Let's start off with, let's go with one of our regulars. We got a bunch of our regulars here. Alf, kind of a two-part question. Bob, do you remember the first article that you wrote, and what inspired you to become a baseball writer? Who did you root for growing up?
My first, article was, I think it was a cross-country track meet in high school. So I was covering high schools when I got to college at Arizona State. I covered high schools. And then I went to, moved up college. And I went to Kansas City to cover basketball. And the team left. And Tracy Ringlesby was a beat writer for the Kansas City Royals.
Yeah.
And he's going to talk me into it and say, you know what? Hey, cover baseball with me. So I covered the Kansas City Royals, from 86 to 89. Went to LA Times, covered the Padres, Angels, where I met you, Jeff, and then the Dodgers, and then USA Today. As a kid, we never, my dad was Air Force, so we never lived in the city with the team. Probably the Yankees were my team just because my grandparents lived right outside New York City. And so in the summertime, we'd go on vacation. My grandfather would take me to a couple of Yankee games. So it's kind of the Yankees growing up. And then now it's always, the best stories. You always root for individuals, whether it's a Bruce Bochy, whether it's a Chris Young, different players. I like to see Aaron Judge win a World Series one day. Such a great dude. And love to see Cleveland Guardians. It was 1948. It'd be nice to see them finally win a championship.
Yeah, of course, the Rangers winning their first a couple of years ago. That was huge, for all that they've been through.
Yeah, I was coming back in the old stadium when they, 110 degrees outside. And, people forget, how they have those races now on the scoreboard. But they had the first one. It's called the dot race. It was just old-fashioned dots. And they would say, no betting, please, no betting. And the whole crowd was gambling on who will win between the red and green and yellow dots.
Awesome. Well, Alf says thank you. And let's see, we've got Isaac Harlan wondering, do you have a favorite moment or two just from games that you've covered, like ones that really stand out? I know I'm putting you on the spot here.
Well, the best postseason of all time, I don't think anything compares, Jeff, is 86. So that postseason, when you had the Angels coming back, and they were up 3-1, ready to close it out. Dave Henderson hits that home run, go to Boston, and they get beat out. Then Houston Astros against the Mets, that 16-inning game was in that same postseason. Then, of course, Game 6 of the World Series. Red Sox up by 2 runs, 2 outs, nobody on. Everybody's got their story written. The Red Sox ending the curse, and then boom, everything falls apart for them. That game will always stand out. Just everybody was in disbelief in the press box, didn't know what to do.
That's awesome. Yeah, Bill Buckner and all that. That was good times. And then a couple of years later, with 88 with the Mets, and that was quite a team, that group for sure. All right, before I let you go, any final Ranger thoughts? I was going to ask you this, and I mean this sincerely. We kind of joked. I remember, I don't know how many other times this came up. Remember in the early 90s, there was all that stuff about the juiced ball. Remember that? And
sure,
they cut the ball open, and they thought they saw some stuff in it or something. I don't know. I don't know if that was true or not, or whatever resulted, but there are some numbers, statistical numbers that say the ball is lagging a little bit this season. Have you heard anything about that? Did you make it? Because on one hand, you see, but then there are a lot of other teams that are still scoring no problem.
Yeah, nothing jumps out. I haven't had any players or managers saying, hey, the ball's juice or the ball is dead. You still got guys like, Cal Raleigh with 26 homers. Yeah. Aaron Judge just hit his 25th. Even Eugenio Suarez with the Diamondbacks hit his 19th today. So there's still a lot of, big-time numbers out there. I just think it's more, with the numbers down offensively, is that everybody tries to hit home runs instead of just moving the runner over, getting singles, doubles, that sort of thing. Playing small ball, usually you're better off doing. I think Detroit Tigers do a very good job of that. And I do believe that it's way too early to panic on the Rangers. I know it's frustrating for Ranger fans, but with that pitching and stuff, that's pretty special. And what was their record, Jeff? I just saw it the other day. With their record was they scored 4 or more runs in a game is unbelievable.
23-4 or 24-4.
Or so, yeah, the last 4
yeah.
games. So as long as that pitching stays like this, and the AL West is down when you think about it. I mean, I saw Seattle get swept. Houston's a nice team, not a great team. Angels aren't going anywhere. Oakland, the Athletics aren't going anywhere. So I still think this thing is wide open. I actually picked the Texas Rangers to win the World Series. I told Boach before the season, Boach, you're every other year. I'm following that game plan. I know how you work.
That's awesome. I remember him from when I was a young kid with the Padres, and he was first class then. And I feel bad. I mean, you see him, and when he walks out to the mound, I mean, the poor guy, I mean, he can barely walk. And
I don't think he's in that much pain.
Oh, good.
And he's had surgeries and stuff like that. But yeah, just that old slow walk. And then then you have Maddox is great. Putting his hand on the shoulders to measure whether a guy's freaking out or not. And I love Brett Boone. I thought that was a good hire. Old school approach, has guys talking more. So I love the fact that Brett Boone is there too.
One more thing here. One of our regulars, Texas Hobbyman, said that she heard some commentators talking about shortening the MLB season. Have you heard anything about that?
Well, I know years ago it was brought up. Okay, how about let's go back to 154 games the way it used to be. And, the commissioner at the time, Bud Selig, goes, okay, owners, do you want to give up eight games of revenue? No. The union, hey, players, you want to give up 8 games of your paycheck? No. Nobody wants to give up the money. So the season is long. Guys get worn out. You hate to say it, but that's why guys were using amphetamines back in the day, just because it's such a long season. Is a pick-me-up. That's why Red Bull's popular in some of these energy drinks. But I just can't see it happening because I don't see the clubs giving up 8 games of TV revenue and the gates. And the players said, okay, I'll cut that from my salary. Players will love to do it, but they don't want to cut their salary.
All right. And one more. This is just completely generic, and I know we're super early, but if Chris Young and the Rangers want to add a bat, do you think there'll be some players available come deadline time? There always is, right?
Yeah, but there's more teams that are in it now, so I don't think it'd be a lot of great bats out there. I mean, White Sox are praying that Luis Robert gets hot in center field so they can move him. They want to dump him. But the Rockies have Ryan McMahon. The teams are definitely going to sell. There's not that many big ones out there. I think a lot of teams will keep taking a look at the Arizona Diamondbacks. If they sell, and they could, I think they'll jump all over like a Eugenio Suarez or a Randall Grichuk, who used to be the platoon partner, of course, with Jock Peterson.
Yeah. All right. Hey, Bob, it's really great to see you. I mean that from the heart. Thank you so much for taking time, and love to have you on again down the road sometime, maybe, before the playoffs or something, before it gets too busy for you. But thank you.
Sure. My pleasure. Great to see you as always, Jeff. Awesome.
Okay. You too. All right. You be well. All right. There he is, the great Bob Nightingale from USA Today, joining us here on the Rangers Postcast. Hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for spending time with us tonight. We'll do it again tomorrow after the finale, the day game tomorrow afternoon. If you can join us, we would love to have you then. But as always, thank you for being a part of the show. And hopefully the Rangers can bounce back and take the series tomorrow to wrap things up on the road and come back home and have a good homestand. All right. Once again, our final score tonight, the Rangers fall in Minneapolis 6-2. This has been the Rangers Postcast.